Welcome to episode 2 of Newy Tech Jobs, the recruitment update. This is update for the month of August 2019. So episode 1 we released last month, pretty successful. I think we've got a good amount of feedback saying people are interested in actually what's going on in Newcastle from the job scene. So here we go for round 2. So in August we had 161 jobs posted on Seek in Newcastle in the tech scene. 15% year-on-year increase, which is obviously pretty big. Once again, really good indication for Newcastle tech scene growing. And also a lot of companies hiring and looking to hire. It was a 16% drop on July, the month before. I think we talked about it in July. July is a really strong month for hiring. A lot of times new budgets for a lot of companies. New budgets means being able to hire new people in your team. So not overly surprising, still really strong numbers for August. Once again, probably the biggest indicator there is the fact that we've got a big increase on the year before. The second part of that is the amount of split between permanent and temporary jobs. So we had 125 permanent jobs advertised, which was 77%. So once again, 77% of all the jobs are still being hired in a permanent fashion. I think that's just, once again, Newcastle, candidate short at the moment. Companies are looking to get people on for a long time. If they can get really good quality candidates, they're happy to keep them on. Finding contractors as well tends to be more difficult in Newcastle. Candidate short as a whole, trying to find contractors coming in for a short period of time, even more difficult than finding permanent staff. So I don't think it's a massive change on the month before. As expected, no surprises there. Next part of our recruitment update is that split between private and recruiters. So 55 jobs posted by private companies this month, versus 106 by recruiters. So big skew towards recruiters. Similar to last month, pretty strong indicator, I think, just that once again, we're candidate short. Companies are starting to realise that it is pretty difficult to hire tech professionals at the moment. More and more recruiters are being engaged to try to help companies recruit that best talent to their tech teams. Once again, probably take this with a little grain of salt as well. I'm sure a lot of jobs that are being filled aren't actually being advertised on Seek, so I wouldn't say this is total jobs being actually advertised or placed. That's just what's actually going on Seek. I know I place a lot of my jobs without placing an ad on Seek, just through my networks, and I'm sure a lot of other recruitment companies and also private companies do that through their networks and the networks within their team. So once again, really, it's always a good way to build your team is through networks and through recommendations of people you know and trust. So hey, if that works and you can do it, all the best and props to you. And the last part of that is just looking at how that's changing year on year. So that's a 24% increase in recruitment, recruiters advertising year on year. So that's a big change. I think once again, a year ago, we're looking at more of an even split between private advertisers and recruiters. Once again, now going at least a 24% increase year on year. So more and more jobs being advertised by recruiters, less and less by private advertisers. I think it's a definite trend in that direction, and probably an indicator, once again, we're in a candidate short market. Little addition to our job update this month, we had a few questions last time on a little bit more information into a breakdown of what type of roles are being advertised in the tech scene. Most popular this month were developers and software engineers. So 15% of all the roles advertised in the tech scene were in that dev space. So I think it's pretty clear to most people, or anyone that's trying to hire in this space, that software developers in general in and around Newcastle are in demand. The tech breakdown, it changes across the board. Once again, I think there's definitely a rise in need for people with React on the front end. React and Angular seem to be really popular on the front end. Newcastle being Microsoft centric, still .NET is around from a back end perspective, with a bit of a rise from the Node.js perspective. Next two popular sort of categories are both in help desk space and also in the BA space. Help desk, 14% of all jobs being advertised were in that sort of help desk IT support space. There's a fair indication that people do advertise for those type of roles. Not too many people have networks in and around those sort of more junior or help desk type roles, because a lot of people are sort of coming through uni or sort of building their career. So advertising for those can sort of unearth new talent. And in the BA space, BAs tend to be, well, a lot of them are hired on a contract basis, so trying to find somebody that's readily available. No surprise that those roles are being advertised as opposed to being filled by networks. And then the last space with some pretty significant, I guess, advertising roles is in the data space. So 12% of all roles in that sort of data or DBA type roles. definite rise in a need for data roles in general in Newcastle. 12% of all roles is definitely a growing trend. It would have been significantly smaller a year ago. I can only see that trend continuing to grow. So that's the top 4 most in demand categories in the tech scene in Newcastle at the moment. So hopefully that provides a little bit more context. If you are up to some questions about those or anything I'm sort of seeing outside of what's being posted at the moment, feel free to get in touch. Hope this was valuable to you.